Boney Island. This is a wonderful amateur yard haunt by Rick Polizzi, one of the producers on The Simpsons show. This is its 10th and final year. This is one of the most unique and interesting yard haunts we've ever been to. A sort of carnival of skeletons.
How are you? Absolutely free! Get your tickets here!
What's my dad's first name?
What's your dad's first name?
Ted.
Come on. Don't you know Jesus' name?
Yeah, but from the finest work, spiders from Madagascar. Rotten candy. Rotten candy. Boney Island, famous rotten candy. Trick or treat is a sure way to go too. Oh yes. Catch a fish and win a prize. Watch out for those eyebrows. Oh, I'm going to be wild. Ooh. Whack the pool. Whack the pools and win a prize. Or you get the board liquor. Don't worry, I'm cool. Just want to be right here. You slide from the finest work. Red spiders from Madagascar. Win a prize.
So one of the things we like about Boney Island is it's very whimsical and very amusing. It's not a spooky haunt at all. So was that just your own personal preference?
Well, I wanted a place where I could go with my family. You know, I have 2 daughters. They hated scary stuff. I hate people jumping out at me with chainsaws. So I never wanted to go to those places. We went once to one, and it was during their kid-friendly hour, and it was still scary for them. I wanted to do something that was different, that everybody could have fun at, and a place where I would want to take my daughter. So that's why this came about. And I try to make things real whimsical as far as jokes for adults and kids, so everybody has a good time.
Yeah, one of the best jokes here is the trio of spiders, I think it is, who are telling jokes.
Yeah.
Is their voice based on The Fly, the movie with Vincent Price?
Yeah, I just did that, and I just started saying, you know, help me, and then I tried to think up of spider jokes or web jokes or just anything that would relate to it.
So you're writing your own material and doing the voices?
Yeah, yeah, I do all of them, and not very well, I don't think, but they're, you know, they work for what it is. It's cheap skeletons and a cheap voice.
Help
They used to come here before they moved in.
Help me find a recipe that makes flies taste good. Help me! Help me! Help me kill the Orkin Man!
How did all this get started?
10 years ago, I found some inexpensive skeletons, and I thought I could do something with these. So I started posing them in funny ways, and then started adding motors, and each year I would add another motor or another tent or whatever, and about 6 years ago I started the whole carnival theme. At first they started out being drunk. It was just drunk skeletons that were decorating the house, and they were all over the place. And then I turned it into a carnival about 6 years ago, and have kept adding to that ever since. And I've always wanted to design, you know, theme park rides, so I just decided to put one in my front yard.
So I understand that the band is the very first display from which Boney Island grew?
Yeah, I started that. I found the Boris skulls when they first came out, and I hooked them up to a 4-track recorder that I had, and I gave each track different parts of songs to sing. And then I made the pumpkins as well. I found some big ones at Target and cut them out and made, I had put Douglas fir bodies in them, and it worked well, and I had everybody singing different parts. That's how it started growing, with more and more sound effects and more dialogue, and I just write little scripts for each display, but it started with basically singing.
She smiled, the mirror's all cracked. Oh, these 2 lucky monsters found true love in a crazy world.
Interesting thing about this is a lot of these yard haunts, I get the feeling we're seeing people putting their creative energies because they don't get to do it in their daily job.
Right.
But you're a producer on The Simpsons, right?
Right.
So don't you already have a creative outlet? How much energy is left for this?
Yeah, it is draining. No, I mean, this is definitely what I would like to be doing. And even though The Simpsons can be creative, this is more fun. I have a great time doing it. That's why I've kept going for 10 years. It's just kind of taken its toll now, and a few neighbors have griped about the noise and called the city, but I just said, all right, this will be the last year, and we'll try to make a compromise out of it.
Since you're not going to be doing this anymore, are you going to donate these skeletons to other haunts? Or what are you going to do with them?
All this is going up on eBay in the next few days, each individual display. I have no idea if anybody has interest in it or what, but we're just going to break it up, and you'll get the motors with it, the signs, the backgrounds, and we'll see what happens.
So we're here outside the Cauldron Ride.
Yeah, I call it the Whirl and Hurl. And someone came by and asked if I wanted a motor, and they gave it to me, and it was a motor that was on one of these bicycles, these exercise bikes from the 50s that you ride, and it was swirling and tilting, and I just decided to put a round board on top and make a merry-go-round out of it, but I was trying to figure out what would be kind of Halloweenish and what would look cool, and I thought of having a witch holding 2 cauldrons that the skeletons could ride in. So we have 2 witches holding out cauldrons spinning around, and it used to go real fast until we found a way to slow it down. So it was really whipping, and we were trying to make some of them getting sick, and some of them didn't like it, some of them did. So we were trying to make a play on how screwy the motor was, and it turned out really nice. A lot of the kids like just sitting there staring at it.
So this is the Ferris wheel. I understand this is a new addition for the 10th and final year.
Right, my friend Rex built this, and he's using it at Christmas. He does a Christmas display. He's in Reseda. So this one won't be up for sale. But we'll change the spiders out and have elves swinging in it or something. We still haven't figured out exactly. But that's the plan. So this one's gonna stay intact after Halloween.
So you were growing this every year, really?
Yeah, and I was running out of room, so I couldn't grow much more than this. So I guess it's a good time to just, call it quits.
Next year, when you don't have to do this and you have a chance to do your own Halloween, what's the first haunt you're going to go visit?
I have no idea. I'm going to have to look up to see what's going to be open because everybody's shutting down, huh?
Right. It's Hallowed Hunting Grounds is gone. Brimstone Cemetery is gone. No more Fright Gallery in Burbank, which was a nice one.
Yeah, that was a neighbor complaint as well, I hear. And it got too big, and it takes so much time. They did a great job too. Yeah, well, all of them did, and I don't know how they could keep going for this long. I don't know how I kept going for this long. I really don't.